Hello and welcome to this week's Omsi 2 news. This week we have some information about a brand new DLC by Halycon, which was released last week, a bit by surprise. In addition, we also have some news about the next project that Halycon is working on. And finally, a competition that V3D is running, which allows you guys to win a copy of the Supreme if you so wish, and some more information about the Supreme in general. Without further ado, let's get into this week's Omsi 2 news. So first of all, the add-on Heuliz bus pack generation X17 was released on Steam last week. This was a bit of a surprise release as there wasn't really much information or even notice about this prior, but probably this was actually posted in the Halycon website a few weeks in advance, but I haven't actually checked it in quite a while. Nonetheless, the Heuliz bus pack generation X17 was released on the 18th of May 2021 for a price of €18, and then as is the tradition in Halycon people who bought it via the Aerosoft store in the first week got the early bird discount of 20% discount, which is really the price of the DLC should be, because 18 quid is a bit steep for a bus pack DLC. Nonetheless, this is based off the Renault buses, but obviously for copyright reasons they cannot say it's a Renault, so instead it's called the Heuliz bus pack. Well, I think it's Heuliz buses in general anyway. This features the older generations of the Heuliz buses, as you can see here, and here's some information about them. So they're mainly based off the 1994 to 2005 variants of the Renault Heuliz bus pack, and you have four different bus series. You have the 117L, the 217, the 317, and the 417. You have then your accurate, realistically modeled buses. You have authentic sounds, and then there's different engines available, as you can see there, including diesel and biofuel, which is CNG. I'm not sure what LPG is. I'm guessing that's some sort of biofuel as well. And then we also have various transitions, so you have your kind of standard within the buses. You have VOI and ZF with 3, 4, or 5-speed variants. And then there's loads of repaints included, mainly based on the French bus operators out there in real life. One thing to mention is that there's only been 6 reviews for this, so it doesn't seem to be a very popular DLC, and not much has been posted about it. But nonetheless, I have decided that we shall... Nonetheless, I will, as we do with the Omsi news, I'll try some of what the reviews have said. Basically, people are quite happy with the modeling quality and with the way it drives in general. People are saying it's nice to have a Renault added in. However, it seems that a lot, like with the previous Halycon DLCs, the ZF leaves a lot to be desired. What that means is basically like with the new Man Lion City Stadtbus that was released, the ZF scripts apparently are just terrible, and it doesn't feel like a ZF gearbox whatsoever. It drives exactly the same like a VOI, which obviously for a DLC that is so expensive, that's 18 quid, it's not really the most acceptable of standards. So basically, that's just one thing to bear in mind, is the ZF is not ideal. This is according now to reviewers. I haven't driven it, but seeing that this is also mentioned with the Man Lion City Stadtbus, it might be something to consider. And the next thing is, there I just checked the Halycon website. They are now also working on an Iveco Überlandbusse, which is basically overland buses, probably means some sort of coach buses. And this is the next DLC that Halycon will publish, and we can probably presume and assume it will cost a price of 18 quid when released, and there will be the typical early bird sale via the Aerosoft shop for 18 quid for 20% discount. One thing to mention also is that the developers mentioned that if you want to support them, that the best way is to purchase via the Aerosoft shop, because apparently that way they get more money. This is interesting since it's via Steam. One would expect the 30% commission that Steam takes will apply regardless, but it seems that if it's sold externally, then it's slightly cheaper, even if the game is via the Steam interface or database. Nonetheless, the Iveco bus pack will feature 40 different bus variations, and you'll have intercity buses mainly, so this will be handy for maps like maybe the Express 91.06 and etc. And there will be more updates to come in the near future on the social media pages, so as more information is made available, we will make sure to keep you up to date. And then finally, some people were asking whether the V3D Supreme is going to be payware or freeware, and well, essentially this confirms it for you. It will be payware, and this is quite clear since he's mentioned a Steam key. Just on a side note quickly, apparently the Opter Solar will be freeware, and this is something V3D promised in the past. This is what I've been informed by members in the Discord, since he basically took the project over from someone else, and therefore it will be freeware rather than payware, and that might explain why there hasn't been any Digibus branding on it, unlike with the Supreme, which you'll see in just a moment, like here. But anyway, there is a competition for you guys, especially those of you, well, not especially, for those of you who are repainters. If you make a livery for the Spectre, I think it is, that impresses V3D, you have a chance to win a Steam key for the Supreme. So this is a nice way to get basically the Supreme for free if you're a repainter, talented repainter, etc. And then one other thing to mention is even if you don't get a free Steam key, it will most likely be very cheap because he tends to keep the prices cheap. So one would expect it will be about the 10 quid mark, which is nearly half the price of what the Halycon is charging now for its DLCs. Although it could be a bit more expensive, we never know. And then here's just some screenshots of the dash, and as you can see here, he took it on a test drive and it's with LED displays. This would indicate it's quite near completion as it's in basically some sort of testing phase. And also you'll notice the Volvo branding at the bottom, and this will probably be made available via an external branding patch. Since it's a paywall DLC, obviously they can't include the real life brands within the download, so you'll have to get them externally. What will be fair is to do via the Digibus website. And that brings us to an end to this week's Omsi 2 news. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, join the Discord to stay even more up to date, where all of this news is posted a bit more in advance. And of course you get also simulation news and simulation stuff altogether, like streams, videos, etc. And yeah, for those of you who are still watching, the plug spots, thanks for watching, and now let's pull the plug out. Bye for now, until next time.